stream.
That's funny, Mark.
Stream.
What do you mean on internet?
Start my Audacity.
So true, though, dude.
Oh, and I ain't gonna lie, guys. If we would not have done this show, I would have probably already been in bed. But just coming down here gives me a little bit of energy.
Oh,
I'd
you
be
can
doing
keep it short.
laundry. Yeah, we'll keep it short. I got laundry.
I mean, we're good. I got like a good. I have real. I think good 6 or 7.
You got a new camera, new lighting, something, or something's different.
I have a new shirt.
It is. That's white, man. That is white.
You
Yeah.
don't have the side light on. Is that it?
I never try to have the studio lights on, just the overhead lights.
Okay.
Now they have been warming up.
Shirt. Maybe it's breaking your whole camera down.
And they have been warming up for an hour, where typically they've only been warming up for like 10, 20 minutes because they do take a while.
And he shaved today, so there's that.
No, actually I didn't. And thankfully my director wasn't there. But my CIO did see me. So I scurried.
I don't know if you can see in the camera shot, but I've decided to grow my beard back, and
Good man.
it's growing back a lot more gray than it was a couple years ago. The last time I did that.
Yeah, I got some stuff called Top Secret Beard Balm, and you're supposed to put a 22 bullet size amount in your hand, rub them together, and then like go like this, and then it comes with a little comb, and you're supposed to do that all after a shower, and it smells like a combination of black pepper and Vicks Vapor Rub. It wakes you right up.
Yeah, I can't imagine wanting to walk around all day
Yeah.
smelling like that.
Yeah, you had me at
You
black
got a cold? That's what everybody be asking you all day long. You got a cold?
They did send me home from work sick Monday,
Crikey.
and I spent all day in my bed playing one app, dominating it, trying to.
Right.
I got a new camera, Mark. You didn't notice though.
No, you were fighting with it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, that was the wrong camera.
Oh, okay.
That one got sent back. Now I got 2 of these ones though. These are the good ones.
Got
Are
a
you
really
gonna
good
be mad
price.
that I didn't notice your hair next.
Yeah, you didn't notice my hair? I got my black hairband in.
I did notice your mic is in frame where it usually isn't.
Yes,
oh, but that's just because you don't have your lower third up.
That's an
why.
AMZ Review Trader new mic stand.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that angle.
There's been a lot of garbage from them lately. You need to move it a little. You're off the edge of your green screen.
Yeah. My green screen needs to be enlarged.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, got the Oppo
Quick.
Ooh, nice.
R7 Plus. Well, it's Swappa. I mean, and this is how fast the fingerprint reader goes. Ready? I go 1, 2, 3, hold, bang. That fast. I mean, it's really fast, and it works really good, the fingerprint reader. And of course, because it's a square and not a swiper, I can do it from any angle. And voila, it just works.
That's how you unlock your phone with that?
I didn't want to. I wanted my phone to not lock and then use LastPass. Use it for my LastPass.
Mm-hmm.
But LastPass does not recognize it.
Oh.
So I figured
my phone.
So I figured I got to use it for something. You know.
Yeah, Mark, I can't think of anything good I got recently from there. Really good.
I got a quadcopter that it wasn't a great deal. It was $40 where it's normally $60, and it's just a little 6-inch guy, but you know, it's my first quad. I've had the little semi helicopters, several of those. This will be my first quad. They say you can flip it upside down and it still flies.
Oh wow!
Mine has a button. Mine has a button that it'll do a flip, and then hit the button again and flips back. I think I paid 60 or 70 for mine a year ago, and it's been a trooper.
Well,
does
yours
have a camera on it?
That air?
What was that?
Does yours have a camera on it too?
I don't think so. It hasn't come yet.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think so.
Well, my question, Eric, is: has yours fallen out the sky and almost hit a skier?
No, I saw that. Mine's not nearly as big as that one. Yeah, mine's fallen out of the sky a lot of times.
Starting in January, you now have to register anything that weighs over, I think, 8 ounces.
Yeah, it's by weight, which is weird. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that.
And 8 ounces is pretty heavy in a quad.
Is it? Okay. I'm pretty sure mine's going to be under then.
Um,
I can get it up to the point where I can see the horizon, and then like gets up there pretty good. But now I haven't taken it out since I bought the house next door. I was still kind of timid because it wasn't my yard I was flying in. Now that my yard's expanded a lot,
one button, return to home, automatically return to land and takeoff location.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, mine doesn't have none of that stuff.
But no camera. So they swapped out some more advanced stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any GPS location at all or anything.
The GoPro and some duct tape, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how much you can. Because like I said, it's only about 6 inches. I don't know how much you can handle it. Oh, I just got approved right this second for dental guards. Okay.
Oh, those sound fun.
Yeah. I'm a grinder, and so I have to buy those things that I put in my.
What's your login name? I am too.
So package of 6 for free.
Totally different.
Yeah. No, I do enjoy some poker.
I don't know what that means.
I'm really scared to say anything. So I'm just gonna... Okay, I think.
Oh, you know what I did get though? I'm psyched to try it out. I haven't done it yet. It's adapters that go component to VGA, so I can use my Xbox on an old monitor. Insta read thermometer.
Yeah, I got one of those
for 99 cents. Does it work good?
It's fine. It's short. That's my complaint about it.
Oh, it is. Here's something that I got. I haven't tried out yet. Lithium ion AA batteries with a charger.
I've never had chargeable ones.
I've
never had a rechargeable ones. I've had what is it?
Nickel
cadmium. The Energizer E squared. They're lithium ion. They're just not rechargeable. They last like crazy, but only in high drain devices, like in a camera or something. You put it in a regular, like say my Zoom recorder, you wouldn't notice a difference. It'd just be a waste of money.
Mm-hmm. That's what thank you, Mark, because that's a perfect idea. Because my daughter's got a camera that just eats batteries alive fast. This would be perfect for that then.
Yeah, when we still bring out the big camera, we use those lithium batteries from Energizer, and one set of those will last 5 or 6 times as long as just plain old Energizer AA's.
Oh, I got a headlamp flashlight that it's totally hands-free. You just move your hand in front of your head and it turns on. You do it again, it turns off. That's kind of, and I've been getting into the essential oils recently.
Not interested.
Some oils.
Little too much snake oil there for my taste.
I was going to say, essential for what? For them to make money?
Well, it'll cure everything, man. There's an oil for everything: leprosy, gout, bad breath.
Yeah, this one does all those.
Annoying neighbors. That's the liverwurst one.
Liverwurst.
I've got a friend who's into that, and every post that this person does on Facebook is about the miraculous healing power of some oil. Okay, then why don't we just make cancer patients eat oranges? Mm-hmm. It's farce. We don't need flu shots because we've got our essential oil diffusers. You're the problem.
I would agree with that, except for the oil part.
You don't believe in flu shots?
No, I've never had a flu shot. I never will.
Herd immunity, man. The only reason you don't get sick is because everyone
else is.
The only people I know who get sick took the shot.
Yeah, that's crap. Everybody says that. It's absolute garbage.
I know. Every year I get the shot. I never get it. Same thing.
I never get it either.
I once did the math on this. Are we streaming? Because this will be interesting.
Yes, we're streaming. This is our.
Maybe we should wait to record on this one.
Okay.
Well, it's recording on YouTube.
3, 2, 1. No, because this is a losing argument for me. This is like it's like global warming.
Just as an intellectual exercise, I went and actually spent like 10 or 12 hours doing research, and I went to this wacko nut job. The government wants to control your brain through injections website, and then I went to the CDC and I put the most wacko nut job, these will kill you numbers, and the CD's most their highest. So I compared highest to highest numbers, and doing the math, you're something like 38,000 more times likely to die from the flu than from the flu shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never said I was going to die from the flu shot.
Well, no, but you other people do, and and then I actually I went so far as to break it all down: death, injury, and most people, anytime they get the sniffles, oh, I got a flu shot, I'm sick. So anyway,
and it's I can't remember. There's terms for all this which I can never remember because my memory sucks. But you always remember getting the shot and getting sick.
Confirmation bias is what.
Confirmation bias versus not getting the shot, and getting sick.
It's like when you're playing poker, you always remember the time that your pair of jacks won, and you don't remember the 15 times your pair of jacks got beat.
Right, exactly. Humans have the innate ability blindly to just connect all kinds of stuff together. We all do it.
I can justify anything.
Well, and I'll say this: global warming, again, just like the pre-stuff, GMO, the problem isn't global warming. Number one. Number two, change is constant on the earth. Temperatures always go up and down, regardless of human interaction. Three, it doesn't matter. The earth's going to be fine. Humans will eventually be off the planet.
It's like wiping the dust off of a cue ball. That's what it's like when the human race goes away. The planet's going to be just fine.
Yeah, planet's going to be just fine.
Yeah. I'm with you guys 100% on that one. I've got children who go to public schools who have loved to argue about this subject.
I spend 5 hours a week de-indoctrinating them.
I hear you, man.
Well, I spent an hour this week hammering a school psychologist repetitively saying the word oh God, what's the word?
He kept saying it.
That begins with A. Autism. About my son. To which I finally, after an hour hammering, said, how much time have you spent one-on-one with my child? And then sarcastically, I said 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. And after almost an hour of me badgering, she admitted about 30 seconds.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so in 30 seconds, you've deduced that my son has levels of autism. Well, I'm not saying that. The teacher's findings are saying that. Oh, so now we're going to trust people who are not professionally trained in any kind of medical diagnosis for a medical diagnosis? I looked at the principal. I said, would you trust me to fix your car? And he sat there. I said, of course you wouldn't. I don't trust the teacher to make any medical diagnosis about my child. So go ahead and say ADHD all you want. Woo, he's crazy, but don't say he's autistic.
That's why they like to say things like on the spectrum, because that's easier to back down from. Well, he's got a series of autistic-like behaviors. We're not saying he's autistic. He's just on the spectrum.
That's easy to say both ways.
Right.
Because, I'm on the spectrum. Einstein's on the spectrum. This mouse is on the spectrum. It doesn't really, pay attention to my feelings.
It doesn't laugh.
It's never once made eye contact.
Exactly.
It doesn't laugh before the age of 2.
Yeah.
I don't like to go to parties. Therefore, I'm pre-autistic.
Oh. Yeah, like this Christmas thing, I'm not really, even though it's my family, I'm not really looking forward to it, man. I really ain't. I love those people dearly, but okay. So everyone, you got a Tappy. You got your Audacity running?
Yes.
Okay, please hit record in 3, 2, 1. Record.
Whoa, that's weird.
I started recording on my backup recorder a full 15 minutes ago when I thought we were about ready to start.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty low.
Okay.
There we go. That's better.
You feeling down? You need to be cheered up.
Yeah, my waveform was. I'm still not in the red, but that's okay.
Is that Windows auto adjusting your mic?
No, I did. I usually have this cranked all the way up, and I was able to move the knob. I must have been drunk karaokeing or something.
Alrighty.
All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Android App Addicts, the show where we talk about Android apps, phones, good stuff, bad stuff, and pretty much whatever we want to. And now it's time for the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. But before we get to that, let me introduce your hosts and my friends, the door-to-door geek, Mr. Steve McLaughlin, and Eric, the manager, the executive, the man in a tie, Ardini. Hi, guys.
Hello. Wow. You got grievances with our listeners? That's not a way to start off a show.
And after that, the feats of strength.
I have no grievances with our listeners. Thank you for listening. Have a good holiday. Ignore everything Mark says.
This isn't over until you pin me, Mark.
I got the poll up in the back. Tinsel irritates me. I find it distracting.
Exactly. I love that guy so much.
So that's the name of the episode, Door. I got a lot of problems with you people.
I got a lot of problems with people. I got to write that down because
Or a podcast for the rest of us.
a podcast for the rest. I like that one. A podcast for the rest of us.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to your favorite search engine of choice and type in Festivus, Festivus, and enjoy.
I saw a link today. It was a YouTube video, Festivus Explained.
Nice.
It was a good 3 to 6 minute long video, somewhere around there. That reminded me. Yes, it was a few clips here, a few clips there, and it reminded me of the full scope of Festivus, if you will.
I gotta say, I might be on the spectrum, but I was never a huge Seinfeld fan. I know what Festivus is just because of people talking about it, and I've never seen the episode.
I always hated Friends and Big Bang Theory, so
I don't like yeah. I did get my my deputy clerk Big Bang Theory cup for Christmas this year. She liked it, so that's cool. I can't stand the canned laughter though.
right. And I will say, pre-show, it does seem like we nearly talk about everything except for Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have seen The Force Awakens this week. How about you guys? And Dora, I know you haven't. You're waiting till after Christmas. Eric?
I haven't seen it either. My son has. He went with some other dad. So I'm not father of the year. Some other kid's dad is. So good for him. Good for them. I think I was doing a podcast that night or something, but I don't know. I'm just going to use the excuse that I'd like to see it on a better screen with a better sound system.
Yeah. Okay.
But he did go to the Bruin View, which is where I would probably like to see it. Unfortunately,
I have seen it. I plan to see it again, and I plan to take my children to see it. And if you know me and my proclivities in terms of child rearing, you'll know that that's actually a pretty good endorsement of it.
Oh, it is. It's very high.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I know I will see it probably multiple times in the theater just because starting January 1st, I get more leave, like free, that I can take any whenever I want. They can't deny me, so I might as well use it for something like that. But I will say this. The movie's not for me. I already know this going into it. I've seen what J.J. Abrams did, and I will say, if anyone watched the old classic Star Trek and really enjoyed that, and then liked these last two movies, they can't like them for the same reason. I'll just say that. Because the newer Star Trek has almost nothing to do with the original Star Trek. And that's what I think they're going to do with this Star Wars, is basically for Star Wars for a new generation, if you will. But I'm just going to go and try to enjoy it for what it is. Period.
So let me give you my brief spoiler-free review. It's scale of 1 to 10. I give it a solid 8.5. It's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
That's good.
Yeah, and there are so many callbacks to the originals and so many direct lifts and things. If it were any other movie, I would degrade it as being derivative and unimaginative. But because of the way they do it and because of the source material, it comes off as an homage. It's like an entire culture of 40-somethings kind of doing a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
This almost sounds identical to your review of Peanuts, except for more positive.
Yeah. And this is completely spoiler free, but just an example of that. So Return of the Jedi, they're trying to get the door open on the moon of Endor, right? R2 gets blasted and Solo can't figure it. Finally, he just pulls out his gun, shoots the control panel, and it opens. right? There's a scene in this movie where Han Solo can't get the door open. He just pulls out his gun, blasts the control panel, and it opens, and kind of gives a sly nod to the camera when he does. It's very subtle, but it's just one of those things, like, if you're like me and you've seen that scene hundreds of times, you go, oh, I see what you did there. That's great. So yeah, and it's J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan who wrote or did a lot of the writing on Empire Strikes Back. It's the two of them saying, I've got your childhood. This thing that you hold precious, I got it. We got you covered. Now we're going to move on to the future. Trust us. Right. And that was the message. And it was well delivered. It was enjoyable. This was a movie for 40 somethings that introduced movies to come for 10-year-olds. And that's exactly what it needed to be, I think.
As long as there's no midichlorians.
No midichlorians, no Jar Jar.
Fine. I'm fine. I'm all in.
Porkins sadly didn't make a recurrence.
Oh, they could have even. There's a lot they could have brought up, but as long as it's not midichlorians,
So if you've seen in Star Trek Into Darkness, that Spock Kirk scene at the end was a mirror replay of the original Wrath of Khan, right? So the same thing, but reversed. There's lots of that in this one. So J.J. Abrams takes the thing that he loves, twists it just a little bit, and replays it, and it is beautiful every time he does it.
Well, I mean, if a Full House Kings over Queens wins, why not next hand do Full House Queens over Kings? I mean,
you can take it, you might as well.
So how was your viewing experience? What was the atmosphere and how full was the show, and how long of a line were you in, that kind of stuff?
I did a reserve seating, so there was no line. And that was why I chose a reserve seating. I bought my tickets like the day after they went on sale. So a month ago, and I bought the last two seats side by side in the theater that time. But there was a guy behind me who went solo, and he said, I just bought my tickets 10 minutes ago. So there's one little onesie seats throughout that you could get into. So it was one of those dinner and a movie things. And it was, there were some kids there, but I'm telling you, it was 80-20 grownups. And it was that's who this movie is for. And maybe they were all like me, trying to review it first. But I think most parents don't actually take that step like I do. But yeah, the theater I was, there were people in costume, but not a lot of them, just a few. And it was kind of cool. It was a very supportive environment. Everybody was like, yeah, cool. All the staff were dressed in some sort of costume at the theater. So it was a very inviting thing like that. But there were no lightsabers, and all in all, everybody seemed to enjoy it. There were no, no rabble rousers. No guy walked in doing the live long and prosper sign and wearing a Captain Kirk uniform.
Did you hear? I think it was in Texas, where a guy went into and he started talking about spoiler stuff coming. 3 people in the movie theater beat him up.
Good.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, I did hear that. Everyone I know who I consider cool versus noisy. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't do a general seating probably until into January, late January, because it's just going to be, you're not going to be able to get a non-packed theater until then. I really think so.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really in a big rush to go this weekend.
It was like $116 million in pre-sales.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jurassic World did 238 opening weekend, right? So they had half of that in pre-sales. So my endorsement is a full-on. You'll enjoy it. It's not a 10, but it's. I would give, in the Star Wars world, I still think Empire is the best of the movies. I would give it a 9.5. But this one gets an 8, whereas Phantom Menace gets a 3. And that's if I'm feeling generous that day.
Yeah, very. Yeah, I mean, there isn't too many 10s. Let's just say that.
No trade negotiations talk. We never see the inside of a Senate chamber.
All right,
Those
we can't
are
we can't get too far into that until after Door and I see it, and we're giving you fair warning. Everybody, go watch it while we haven't. So when we come back, we're unabridged and we will spoil the crap out of stuff.
And in my own little personal claim to fame, one of my former college roommates actually did some of the ships in that movie. He's a designer.
Nice.
Wow.
He spent 18 months working for LucasArts designing stuff. He also did, if you've seen the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion, he did.
Oh yeah.
He did most of the vehicles in that movie. He's done all kinds of cool stuff, lots of video game stuff, but it was kind of cool because this is like the biggest movie for people of our age. He also got to do recently a hand drawn, it wasn't computer animated, D&D 50th anniversary or something like that. So he's done the two things of his childhood for people our age who are geeks. He's done Star Wars and he's done D&D.
That's cool. Was he into D&D as a youngster?
He was.
Oh, perfect. Beautiful.
So, Tommy, if you're listening, and I know you're not, good job.
Yeah. Way to go, Tommy.
Way to go, Tommy.
He goes by something much more esoteric now. Tommy is not a name for an artist.
No. Unless he's really good at pinball.
I have blathered far too much. Have you guys got anything you want to say before I say bring on the first app? But before we get there, anything going on? It is almost Christmas. It's the day before, night before Christmas. So
yes.
See Vive.
And because I'm your typical nerd, I bought myself a gift because no one knows what to get me because I'm a nerd. I went out and got the Oppo R7 Plus on Amazon, $730. I got it on Swappa for $295.
Wow, that's quite a difference.
I was researching that one when I was looking at phones, and as best I can tell, it is the model from which the Nexus 6P was made from. They made a few modifications to that design for the 6P.
Well, I can tell you now, the big thing, the big things about it is the fingerprint reader is square and works unbelievably fast. I mean, really good, really solid.
It's on the back. Oppo is the only people doing that.
Yeah. Everyone thinks Motorola will, but not yet. The default.
Oh, we'll never know. The default what?
The default. Let's see. Well, Door just dropped out, so we'll say that since we.
The default startup sound is Homer Simpson saying "donuts."
The default icon pack is all circles, and he loves it now.
The default launcher is an iOS mimic.
Yes. Sorry. The default layout of the launcher is very MyUI like, aka no app drawer. You load your apps and then just to the side, all the other apps reside. Right on the main home screen, there is a theme store where if you go there, you can just load different themes that will then give you a app drawer. So it isn't like you cannot get an app drawer without replacing the launcher. There's plenty of themes and styles that take into account different home screen layouts. So that's the first thing. 16 gig, 3 gigs of RAM. 32 gig, 16, 3 gigs of RAM. If you get the 64 gig version, you get 4 gigs of RAM. This is absolutely plenty. I haven't experienced any slowdown. I've only had it for 2 days. 4,000 milliamp battery, easy 24 hours. I've went so far without stressing at all about battery.
Is that a 5.5 inch screen?
No, true 6-inch screen.
Okay.
And the screen is a higher res. I don't know what a high res is, but I know it's really kind of high res. They try to flaunt near bezel-less. I can very obviously see a bezel, but it ain't thick. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I really like it so far. I really actually like it a lot because this is not Marshmallow. Other Asian ROMs have built-in security centers. That's where LBE Privacy Guard came from. This has a built-in privacy center far superior to the Marshmallow security center. I will say that. One, I can passcode apps. So I can make an app and I can lock an app with a passcode so no one can launch it. I can then and uncrypt the app also. I have individual privacy permissions just like um, Marshmallow, but I can also copy and clone my preferences. So I can take this app and say, copy this app's permissions to that app. Or I can say, make this the standard app permissions. None of that's available in Marshmallow. So I'm definitely a big fan of that. It's very easy to just turn off the permissions and say, I don't care about these permissions. Just let my apps do what they want to do. So I really do like that a lot. I have not got into the energy savings mode, but supposedly there's the energy savings mode where this battery can last a week. Haven't done that yet.
Well, those invariably turn off all the stuff that you actually want. The best way to save the battery on your phone is not to actually use it.
Right. Yeah. And it, instead of being a pull, a push technology, it's a pull technology on demand, which means if you want to check your email, you have to open up and check your email. You know, so yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm gonna definitely try it just for a little bit, just to see what it's like. And I will say, like, for instance, today I unplugged it late last night. Right now I'm still on 3G Wi-Fi. This takes a micro nano SIM. The SIM in my OnePlus is too big. I don't have a cutter. So I'm literally carrying the OnePlus around in hotspot mode and having this phone on Wi-Fi only. But I unplugged it late last night, left it unplugged all overnight, got out this morning, drove to work with navigation on for over an hour, had it all day, wireless all day, drove home in 2.5 hours of traffic with the GPS on the entire time. I got home, I was still above 70% battery.
Did you have the screen on the whole time?
During the navigation, yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, the battery is sick, is the best way I can put it. The battery is sick. Now, it's going to, the true test is when I get the SIM cut or get a proper size SIM. But for right now, the softball test I gave was very easy. I do have a camera here, and I do plan on doing a proper review with hopefully good quality images of the phone here in a couple days to a week when I feel more full about my review. Already took a lot of screenshots. There are certain things in here I will just say that are really nice that I can see other phone manufacturers, aka Android, trying to suck back into its default OS.
Cool. And
good looking phone.
You got it on Swappa, so it was used?
If it's used, I can't tell, but yes, it's used.
Okay.
You know, but better than 50% off.
So you got it at 300-ish. Would you pay 700? Is it that good?
I don't know. I don't think I would pay 700 for any phone, period. And I don't see why this would be 700. Yeah, it has an okay screen. Yeah, it has a good battery. Yeah, it has a good fingerprint reader. But it's like you were saying before, there's nothing that makes this really, in my mind, truly stand out. And with Nexus phones selling for $250 for the previous version Nexus, for your Motorola selling for $400, this to me is not worth any more than $450 at $500 at the most.
What phone is that again, Dor?
The Oppo OPPO R7 Plus.
And you were going from the Oppo OnePlus or the OnePlus One to that, right?
Yes.
And that's Oppo too? OnePlus One?
Technically yes, but no, it's OnePlus One.
Okay.
It's like a daughter company from Oppo.
Nice. It's good. That's a good looking phone. It's kind of not the color I would say that you would normally have, but
no gold. But I was able to find some beautiful square icons. Oh man, that made me feel good. Oh,
so you have no case on that. Are you planning to keep it naked?
I do have a case. It's just a really cheap, around 3 of the sides case, just because it came over quick. Because this is not sold in the U.S., it's not easy to get cases for it. That when I did order a case from Amazon, that was much better. It's an estimated delivery January 15th, between January 15th and February 28th.
Oh, it's somewhere between there.
Yes.
Are you going to find a case that will break into 3 parts every time you drop your phone?
Maybe.
Just wondering.
I'm actually a really big fan of those thin TPU cases. I think that they do exactly what you need to do. They don't take up space. They keep you from scratching your phone. You don't need something, or at least I don't. I don't need something that can handle falling off a second-story building onto asphalt. I don't need an OtterBox. I need something that's gonna, if I drop it in the garage on the way to the car, that's gonna keep it from getting scratched up. And in my case, on the Moto, it's got that textured vinyl back on it. I've just got a bumper case on it. And the bumper case has some scratches around the corners, which is what a bumper case is supposed to do. The scratches are on the case and not on the phone. And so I've never been a big fan of taking your thin, light, 8.5 ounce phone and sticking a 2.6 pound case on it.
Yeah. Every case I've had here recently has at least been really light. And that's really my main goal. But the only thing I really have to buy for this is the tempered glass front, because I know with as much surface area as this true 6-inch takes up, if anything is going to get damaged, in my luck, it's going to be that screen.
Yeah, I'm sold on those tempered glass. Everything I own from now on is going to have tempered glass screen protector on it, I think.
My sunglasses have tempered glass.
My problem I have with it, and it's not the technology, it's me, is that there's a little edge. They never fully cover the entire glass, and so there's that extra little bezel, and it just I can't see anything but that when I look at them.
Really? Oh yeah, I looked right past that.
That's why I was so happy. My last case covered up the entire edge of the phone by that exact amount, Mark. It was like,
there you go.
Perfect fit right there, as to where I never had to see it. And then when I took the exterior case off, oh yeah, it would send me into stuttering obsession,
You guys.
upsetness. It drove me nuts. But then when I put the case back on, just forgot about it. Out of sight, out of mind.
See, I miss all that stuff. People talk about, like, on this Note 4 that I have, they say there's a gap between the glass and the metal frame all the way around. I never see anything like that. I don't care about that stuff.
Interestingly, though, on my Moto 360, I look right past the flat tire. So you choose the right background, and you'll never know it's there. So
Yeah.
it's just it all depends. You can get used to anything, but I put one of those tempered glass screens on. I was like, I can't live with that. I just can't. Right. The cutout around the front facing camera was just not perfect, and I don't blame them for not being able to do it perfectly. But I can't have that on my phone. I took it off.
Oh, speaking of watch and new things, Mark Swiralt, a good listener of ours, has just totally redone another watch face for me, and I'm really liking this one. It's got my name at the top, and it reminds you when it goes dim like that. It looks like an Indigo watch when it's just in quiet mode. Or there's Tim Bauermeister probably talking on Boxer or something. But yeah, I like it. Thank you very much, Mark. He I think he sent me 3 different revisions of this new one, and I liked it. I was actually using a different one of his that he made, not one that was an Android App Addicts one or anything, but just one that was more of a general watch face that he had made for himself and others that would change colors or something. But this one's got a little shininess, like when you move it, it tries to make itself look like it's got a metallic background by changing up the gradients and stuff.
That's cool.
I like it.
I noticed you have an analog watch face on a square watch.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
just
do.
wrong.
Why?
That's wrong. It's wrong.
And
Why wear a computer on your wrist that emulates 800-year-old technology?
I don't know. I've kind of liked the analog.
Yeah. No, can't do it.
No, I can't.
Can't do it.
I mean, they do make some people have got some great watch faces that look like old Timexes.
Well, and I don't want that either.
Perfectly.
I don't
Looks like
want
an old
something that looks like if I want an old Timex, I'll get an old Timex. Mine, I don't know if I can show it for the camera, but mine is mimics the it's too far away. Mimics the HTC Sense flip clock. So it's got a little bit of the analog old school there.
Right,
But also, it's got a nice swirly background. It doesn't look like anything that exists in nature, and that's what I want. I don't want something that looks like something old. I don't like faux leather, wallpapers either. I don't want something that looks like a deckled edge on a piece of paper on my note-taking app. I want a nice screen where I can type stuff.
I did have one for a while that was made out of what are those Nixie sticks or something? Nixie pixels?
No, Nixie tubes.
Nixie tubes. I mean, that was as fanciful, I think, as I got. I don't know. I don't like it too weird. Just like glance down, just numbers and circles. I'd rather have the old faithful. I mean, I've got an analog clock everywhere I go, except for my computer, bottom right. I don't know. It seems like I'm drawn towards analog watch faces, though.
Skeuomorphism it bothers me. The idea of making something digital look physical. It's anathema to me. I can't wrap my brain around it at all.
But you would have a flip over type watch rather than a digital, where you would actually have had physical pieces of plasticky paper that flip over themselves.
Hey!
It's just reminiscent of it. If it had actually done the animations, I wouldn't have it. It's just reminiscent of it.
And Eric, that's the clock from Groundhog Day, so take it easy.
They say our love would never last. All right, so we're 25 minutes in, haven't talked about a single app. What I would like to do, guys, if you will indulge me, is do 2 apps each tonight. Keep it relatively short. That's our Christmas gift to you. The 2 best apps that we've got, and a show that's not 9 hours long. What do you think? Can you do it? Can you narrow it down to 2?
No. Sorry. And Mark Seralt's watch app that I was just talking about was done with Watchmaker. So there's an app.
Yes.
But do you use Watchmaker for your watch?
Of course, like everybody, when you first get it, you start making watch faces, and I've made a couple, and then I realized that I'm not good at that, and I leave it to people who are.
It's not simple.
Yeah, the scripting part I can do. I've got that part of my brain is solid. It's the art part and making something that actually looks good now. So yes, I have used Watchmaker. The watch face I have right now is a Watchmaker face, but I'm not a designer.
Okay, I can break this down to 2 apps. One of them's going to be a repeat app, though, from before.
So you start with us.
Okay, I'm going to start. And I have to give the credit for this app to Johnny. Johnny is a well-known person in the Podnuts community. She has joined us at OLF a couple times. And she introduced me to Evil Apples, a dirty card game. And this is not safe for work or children. This game is definitely rated M.
This is Cards for Humanity ripped off.
Right. Yeah. So if you didn't get Cards Against Humanity or for Christmas, and you're kind of bummed by that, just download Evil Apples for free. Tell a couple of your friends to do it too, and you guys can play the game without having to buy the card set. I think it's pretty fun. In the right company. It's not something you want to play with your kids, because it is very, very dirty. And even if you look at the screenshots, you'll kind of get an idea of how dirty it is. And do you want me to give my neck? Dory, did you play? You played around, didn't you, or not? Did you play around of this game?
No, I don't like people. Why would I do that?
So give me the premise of the game. I've never played Cards Against Humanity. Looking at this, I think I grok it, but give me the premise of the game just so that our listeners understand.
Okay, so they'll throw a card up there, and the card will have a blank space in it where you got to fill in the blank. And you get, I think, 5 or 7 cards dealt to you. And as you play, you can actually get to the point where you can type in your own card and make up your own card. Okay, so you fill in the blank with this thing. You have all of your players do this, and one player is a judge, and that judge player has to read all of the answers that came in for that blank, and that person picks out who wins, not knowing who wrote it or who submitted it. And then whoever wins gets a point, and then the next round comes by, someone else is a judge, and everybody does it again with a different card.
So it's the best answer to the question or the best filling in of the blank.
Yep. Whoever, and it's up to the judge what means best. It could be funniest, it could make the most sense. It's totally up to the judge, whichever one they pick.
And thus my problem with it, which is why, and I didn't know this existed until I watched Ninja Warrior back in the day on G4, Asian game shows. The reason I can't stand this kind of game is this is the American version of a game where every round there's a winner. I like Japanese game shows where most of the time everyone's a loser. It's really difficult to win something. And this, every round somebody's a winner. Every round somebody's a winner. Every round somebody's a winner. So
Well, and then the ultimate winner would get to be the first one to 6 points or whatever, to win the whole round, I guess.
right.
The set match kind of thing.
And it doesn't help that 99% of the time when I'm talking to someone and I'm funny, I'm not trying to be funny. And when I try to be funny, they just look at me like there's something wrong with me. So
I kind of can relate, yeah.
So I could see myself sitting, on the couch as the kids are watching their, whatever Disney thing, and just laughing hysterically at something, and then they kid say, "What are you laughing at?" I'll tell you when you're 18.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be too close to the little kids during any part of this gameplay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that was one.
We're gonna do tank emptying.
All right.
Bring it on.
Back to back. And this is a repeat app from Door, and he brought this probably a month ago, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Horizon Chase World Tour. And I just got to say, man, I have upped my game on this. I paid for all of it to be unlocked. I am totally sold on this racing game, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I loved the arcade game. What was it? World or
Cruising USA.
Yeah, Cruising USA. I loved that arcade game, but this game, the gameplay is so good on this game. I really want to get first place in every track for some reason. I'm really sticking with it, and it works so well with my gamepad from the Amazon gamepad that I have for the Amazon Fire TV. I'll set my tablet right in front of me, and if I'm like laying in the bed, I'll just set the tablet on my chest, and I'll put my hands behind the tablet and hang onto the gamepad and just
Nice.
drive, and it's a fun game. And I've played a lot of racing games. Then this one, I even bought the Ski-Doo one too recently, the Riptide GP2,
Right.
just to see. Well, maybe I'm just really into racing games, and that one's fun too. I mean,
It's good, but
yeah,
it's not the same.
It's not the same. No.
I played this one, and I enjoyed it while I was playing it, and I played it incessantly for a while, but it wasn't compelling enough for me to buy it. When I got to the end of the free stuff, I was like, all right, I'm done with that, and moved on.
See,
I did too, originally.
Part of the reason why I think this game is good, I literally spent well over an hour this week playing this game, is it takes what was successful about the old game Top Gear, and it enhances it without going crazy with crazy power-ups, crazy effects, crazy competition. It's just enough competition to make it a little difficult to be number one every time, but it's doable. It is definitely doable. If you get the flow of avoiding people and nitroing at the right time, you feel a sense of accomplishment without it being overly challenging. And it has enough graphics, beauty, as I put it, to where, it can just work. I'll say on the GPD handheld Game Boy like system, butter. This and Colin McRae are two really good games, but I really suck at Colin McRae. And this one I'm actually doing decent at. I'm really shocked at how good I'm doing at this game. I honestly see myself in a year every now and then going back and playing this game a little bit more, just because I feel like it's going to be the old standby when I'm bored and don't know what else to do. I'll just play some Horizon Chase.
Yeah, I agree, man. Aquirus Game Studio SA, they got it. Just, you're right. It's just enough of a great feeling when you get first place that it is a little bit of an accomplishment.
What hooked me about it was that you have to feather the brake. You know, you can't just throttle all the time. You can't win that way. And that I like that.
I'll say this: you can, but it's 10 times harder than playing the game right.
Yeah, it's just such a huge um it's when you bump the back of a car and it's
Go from 130 to 70 in a second.
yeah, it's such a disappointing thing you just did. It's like, and I like the little lyric is a thing that pops up. It says, um, "Use your turbo right or something. Don't mess up or something like I don't know. It's something funny, but you know what they're talking about. Don't hit the back of a car because that just ruins it."
Yeah. Yeah. I just, this is the kind of game I cannot get too much of. Just works really well. And whatever whatever this company makes next, I'm probably going to play that as well.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely dialed this one in perfectly for me anyway. Horizon
I
Chase
would like
World
to bring
Tour.
an app, if I may. It's one you're not going to like, Door. You may have already talked about it. There are no new apps. I can't bring an app that you haven't already done, but it involves other people, and that's why you're not going to like it. It's 8-Ball Pool by Miniclip, and it's just heads up pool online with other people, and you can have friends, and that's where it got me started. Some friends at work had got me onto it, and so we've been playing, not at work, boss, but they're my friends who I also work with, and we've been playing, and it's really, and actually what I like about it is it's not a game you can play at work. It's not an asynchronous thing. It's not like chess where you make a move and then 5 hours later you have to be head to head with somebody actually engaged in in gameplay, and I like that about it. You can also play against a computer, but it's not as good, and you can randomly play against strangers, which is fine too. But it's a good physics. The physics of it is good, and I really like it. 8-Ball Pool by Miniclip.
Well,
I paid for this a long time ago, but I don't know why. I don't remember why. I guess I should get friends with you and start playing you against since I've already paid.
You would
for
like to because I suck.
well,
So great.
that's because I think you, me, and Steve C all bought this. Eric,
Okay.
and we did play a couple times, that many. But here's what I can't remember, Mark, because just like the reason I like Horizon Chase was slight difficult without being over difficult. What I don't like about some pool games is either A, the line from your cue ball is too accurate, and it's very easy to go on 6, 7, 8-ball streaks, or there's no line, or the line is so inaccurate it's difficult to make 2 in a row. How would you say this rates? Like, what's your average run on the
I would say it fairly well mimics my real play. I can do 6 balls if everything works out right, but it mimic it, like that's what I complimented the physics. You've got to get not only the angle right, but also the strength of the stroke right and the English right, and all of those things have to work together. And you can easily drop a ball using the arrows, right, where it's going to show you the reflection angle, but it doesn't show you the leave, and that's the real art of pool, is the leave.
Yeah.
And so that's it gives you just enough to help you have some success, but not so much that it's does it for you.
right? And my pool knowledge goes as far as to make a shot is easy. To make a shot and have your ball set up for the next shot, that's where true pool players reside.
Yeah, I spent way too many hours in my youth putting chalk on a piece of wood and hitting little balls, and I there was a time when I was really pretty good at it, and this it brings back that feel like no other pool game I've ever had. I've ever played on the computer.
Yeah, I'll have to revisit this, Mark. And are you up to play Dora or I if we would like to challenge you?
Sure.
Even if Dora's doesn't want to talk to people or anything.
I can. Yeah, I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely. It's that scheduling thing. You literally kind of have to schedule this because it's not, as far as I can tell, you can send an invitation, but once you leave the app, the invitation goes away. So you got to make plans ahead of time, and I'm okay with that.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm installing it. Would you have you played this on a tablet versus a phone? Which would you rather? What would you suggest?
Well, my
Doesn't matter.
phone is a
Doesn't matter.
phablet. It's a, you know, the 6-inch, and that's all I've played it on.
Okay.
I would think, I don't know, it might be a little hard to control on a big tablet, having to get the angle just right and hold the tablet. I don't know, haven't tried it.
Okay, mine's 6-inch too, so we'll be even there. That's good. I don't know. I'll give it a try. Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mark.
do you remember that bad commercial from like 5 years ago or so, where there was 2 people sitting at a bus stop playing mobile games? The girl crushed the guy, and the reason was because she had a bigger phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Times
an
have
Android
changed.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were both like, 2.83 inches or something like that, super tiny.
I think that was one of the Samsung's versus Apple ones.
I can't remember.
Could have been.
All right, Mr. Geek, Mr. Door to Door,
Okay.
what have you got for us?
I'm going to harken back to something you said earlier in this show.
I hate it when people listen to me, because then I'm responsible and accountable for what I say.
But it's not going to be that accurate though, so that should make you feel better. You were talking about sitting on the couch while your kids are watching movies. This should like a hard knee-jerk reaction remind you of the movie Ice Age. For people who have seen that movie, you're going to understand what I say. People who haven't, I'm really sorry. In that movie, there was a point in time where the characters were going through a cave and they saw what amounted to cave drawings on the wall, and they quote unquote came to life. That's exactly what this game is. It's in the style of cave drawings, but it comes to life where you lead the characters through a story. And they try to emphasize the emotion of the story. If you will. It's about a mammoth and its family, and you control the mammoth. I never saw if you actually control the humans or not, but
So you get to trample people?
you get to trample lots of people because
Nice.
they're big, huge things with big tusks. So I guess they can do whatever they want.
Can you accidentally trample your children, your baby mammoths too, or not?
I know I should have, but I didn't. So I'm going to say no, you can't.
Okay.
Kind of thing. I'm dead serious when I tell people this is the kind of game stylistically I encourage everyone just to look at it at least once. It's completely free, called The Mammoth, a cave painting by In Between Games, T for Teen. No in-app purchases, completely free. So it's really, to me, the easy thing to just check out. And this did, when Mark said 2 apps, I these 2, I'll say, slightly beat out the other ones. I like that app. This app I have to mention just because of this next one, because of lineage, because of where this show has came from. We talked about an app 3+ years ago, I want to say, called Habit RPG. Habit RPG was a website first and foremost that came out of, I want to say, Indiegogo or Kickstarter, where multiple people could link up, create a guild, create tasks and things based upon real life routines, like waking up on time, leaving for work on time, the good things in your life, or getting double bacon on my veggie sub, bad thing, and mark them as points or activities in a game called Habit RPG that would raise or lower your XP, your health, and stuff like that. So it was taking the gamifying of life and putting it into the game from the real life habits. This is the second version of that.
Okay.
It's a huge rev, a lot more polish, and does look much better, and seems like it runs much better, called Habitica. Habitica. So it's the same basic principle where you take normal, daily, good and bad habits. The good habits you assign positive tributes to or positive prizes to, and the negative ones you assign negative things to, like what they say: daily reading, daily flossing, going to the gym, um, eating vegetables, listening to audiobook, cook healthy meal, eat eat junk food, um like Quest, a attack of the mundane part one dish disaster, basically doing your dishes. Um, I can honestly see people who need extra reinforcement to do other stuff in their life besides watch Ancient Aliens or Monday Night Football, but to actually do stuff, you might need that extra bump. And this literally might be one of those things that you might look at doing and actually might turn out being something you think is fun.
I think that one of the things for this needs to be charge your phone, because the screenshots, the battery's always like 13. One of them's down to 7%.
Ooh,
That's just, how can you do that?
good eye.
What
I
kind
didn't
of
know.
monster does that?
I looked through the screenshots. I never noticed that.
I didn't either. Oh,
job.
that's really bad. Yeah, touche.
You were talking, Mark, about people holding you accountable for what you say by listening to you. Now, this way you could hold yourself accountable for what you do and make a game out of it. I personally would never invest anything into this.
So if I'm reading this right, Dor, this needs to be a group activity. It's not something you can get into on your own.
You can get into it on your own, but there is also guild like aspects of it that you can take advantage of.
Okay. I'm not into the gamification thing, right? Walking and weight loss. There's all kinds of opportunities to make that a competition. At work, there's always some pool going around where you weigh in every Friday or whatever. That doesn't really appeal to me. And I also don't really get into role play games. So both ways, I don't think this would appeal to me. But if that's you, then this is like the Fitbit thing, but the Dungeons and Dragons version of it.
Well, here's how I'm going to try to make it work. Between us, we're going to have a fat, jolly man bring one of my child's a tablet. The same child that's broken multiple tablets. My other child still has a tablet. I'm literally going to look at doing this, making a guild with us three in it, and making daily habits. Nostalgia guy, but he's also the guy that loves J.J. Abrams. So I already know how he feels about the movie.
Oh, I will say that there were lens flares in this one, but not so many as to be annoying. I will take note of the lens flares.
So says you. Well, I'll be my own judge.
Oh, that was a spoiler right there. Now I'm going to be looking. I'm not going to see anything but lens flares now.
Oh well, in the Star Trek ones, that's all. Once you've noticed them, that's all you can see.
Yeah.
But in Star Wars, when there was a lens flare, it should have been there. There was a light source moving across the screen, so I felt okay about it.
I'll take your word on it.
All right. I think that's it. We're going to say goodbye for now. Seriously, guys, thanks for letting me hang out with you. It truly is a highlight of my week. I really enjoyed being on. I mean, I've sort of, the dream has come true. I've gone from being a listener to being a participant. But you, the listener, are participants, even though you don't get to sit behind the mic. You support us. You tell other people about us. Really, the best thing you can do is tell 15 of your closest friends about this show and share the wealth. As the audience grows, opportunities to monetize grow. Yes, we love it when Patreon people support. We love it when you buy through our Podnuts Amazon referral link. But really, the best thing you can do is tell other people about it. So whatever system you use, go rate and review, and then find somebody who's got an Apple account and go rate us there on iTunes too, because that would be the greatest thing if the number one app on iTunes would be an Android podcast. We need to make that happen. We need to throw all of our effort around that to making the Android App Addicts show the #1 podcast in iTunes, because that would be great irony.
Remember those days when Samsung had their podcast player door and we were number one?
Number one.
Yes, for a long
You were
time.
above the Quran.
That was so neat.
The
I
Quran
love
podcast was number 2.
And I've never stopped buying Samsung since. See,
It worked. They earned a customer for life. You give them hundreds of dollars a year. All right. I'm going to say that's it. We'll see you next week on Android App Addicts.
Yeah, that's all it was, huh? I didn't realize that they sucked me in that way.
Yeah. What was it? The name of the app? I can't remember the name of the app.
What was it?
Keys.
Keyscast.
Yeah.
And it was KIES.
Yeah, it was spelled ridiculously. I do remember that. Kept thinking, like, why would they spell it like that? What's wrong with them? Sure.
Yeah, that was so we were like, I was like, hey, we're number 1, and this thing called Tiesto's number 2. Tiesto, Steve C, like he's the biggest DJ in the world.
Yeah, he freaked. I do remember that. Okay. Whoever. Brain working. I know tomorrow is going to be really a mentally painful day at work.
Oh, I bet. Today was rough. There was nobody doing anything. I mean, I just started numbering stuff today, just throwing numbers and things.
I worked from home today with the rationale that I would get as much done sitting on my couch as I would sitting at my desk, which is not much. It's the end of the year. Things are wrapping up. There's not that much to do.
Literally. And it's just one of those
14?
Go 14, yes. It's just one of those systematically quiet times that just happens. And, in a week or whatever, it's going to start to bounce back, but it's going to take like 2 full weeks for everything to truly bounce back.
Oh, man. My Audacity machine just crashed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I make a backup recording.
Exactly.
I'll try to trim it as best I can.
You're good, Mark. You're good. Don't lie.
Let me know when